I believe toys can unlock leaders of the future. And when you begin to layer in gameplay and digital platforms and technologies, it can fan the flames of the imagination and lead to mind-blowing experiences. And as a result, we can unearth that inner entrepreneur. So why do I care? Well, I strive to build the highest standards in the industry and drive in design and innovation within a corporation founded by the Hassenfeld brothers a long, long time ago. It's important that we continue that legacy and build the world's best play experiences. It's not just about pivoting off global consumer insights critical to innovation. It's about perspectives. It's about embracing, bringing in core competencies which can complement your creativity. It's then compiling it and curating it as one and driving it forward with passion, with a bold and brave approach. But it's also respecting history and tradition and taking some of that DNA and weaving it in to some of them visions and driving it forward into the future to make sure it fulfills the need states of future generations. For many of you looking at this cool animation, few will argue that this compound in my very hands, in my very fingertips, is not the ultimate creativity tool. It fuels storytelling and role play, and as a result, boundless opportunities. If you're looking at this image, it brings back memories from your childhood. For me, it's about squeezing that compound time and time again through my fingertips. It never gets dull and boring. For others, it's observing mum and dad picking it out of the carpet. We've all been there. But for some, it's that sweet smell that we keep on going back to, etching that everlasting memory. But what if? What if we were to take this in its purest form, protect its authenticity, and moonshot it into the future? What would that feel like? What would it look like? We all recognize that there's an abundance of screens and technologies and devices, which is second nature to our kids, both today and tomorrow. But what if we created something so creative and unique, with as much creativity digitally as it is in my very hand right now? I want to take you through a quick demonstration. And this is a platform called Play-Doh Touch. And I believe it really does echo both sides of the story. We use the phrase opening a can of imagination. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek. You can see that this morning I was in the mood for creating a three-legged monster with one eye, and I think we'll add another little bit of hair to him as well, not indifferent to mine. And essentially what this is, it's a portal which allows me to take my physical creations for the very first time into a digital dough environment. It acts as a portal, so when I hover over my creation, it gets recognized and then takes it into this fantastical world. The best way to describe it is just like opening a coloring book for the very first time, a blank canvas. And through my creations, I can color that world. So you can see I've got this little 3D character now who's come alive. Pretty cool, huh? And as I wander around, and you can see his little legs going, you can see these little sparks of imagination that I'm picking up along the way. So as I climb and I gather these sparks, I come across a digital dough can. What this does is if I click on that, it prompts me to, and scrolls through a variety of shapes. So it actually encourages me to go and build back with a tangible product again. So it's this continuous cycle from dough to digital and digital to dough, and completing that loop, which is rather unique and a very particular case and a very good example of how things really can exist to protect that tradition, but cast it in a completely different light. So why is this unlocking and building new worlds so important to me? Well, I can pinpoint exact moments from my upbringing which really fired up my design philosophies and principles. And it all started with this fine gentleman here, my grandfather. He was my superhero. And he took risks. He was an entrepreneur. And it all started for him with these big, bold visions, which many would not see. For him, it started with this building on the left-hand side, an 18th century building owned by British Rail. In 1931, it got decommissioned, and it fell into a little bit of disrepair and stood still for 35 years. But my grandfather and my parents had a very different goal and ambition. With zero renovation or building experience to their name, they converted it into this family home. But that wasn't big enough. He had bigger ambitions. He took a complete left turn and decided to invest in a corner unit, invested his entire life savings, and built a fish and chip shop. And he built a community around 4 generations. And you can see one picture that I have. That's the only picture I have. They would soon queue in the entire length of the village. Wonderful. But after a few fruitful years, he decided, okay, time to take the right turn. So then he invested in a plot of land and built a factory where he processed shellfish extracted from the rich waters and estuaries around us. Bit of a leap. But it wasn't just delivering to local markets. He was soon delivering to many parts of the UK. The crescendo to this story is that at the age of 16, he sat me down, and after decades of building these businesses, he said, "Son, this is all for you." I nervously let him know that I had my own goals to go to university to study design. What I know fully well now, what I experienced then, was the highest level of emotional IQ. Within a second, he simply turned around. "It's okay, son," he said. "This is all here as and when you need it." The strength of that message has remained with me to this day. It's inspired me to understand that I can build journeys for other people and build paths for other people and empower people. So there's a great human story here that back then, little did I know, he was that pace car out in front of me. And now technically I'm ghosting his journeys and stories. And that's allowed me to apply myself in my industry as I have today. It leads really nicely onto another fine example of stretching boundaries from tradition to something completely different, a brand new standard. For many people who are looking at this image today, you'll recognize it as Magic of the Gathering. For those who are not aware what that is, it's played by 20 million users across the world. If I peel back the onion layers, it's a strategy card game brought alive with these fantastical worlds and a deep character base. There's even a few sage characters in there, some wizards, and some pretty exciting things. But what if I was to focus on this single component of the strategy card? Where could I possibly take that? What if we were to take music, lifestyle, and social connection as a consumer insight, and then we were to identify a world expert in digital and music gameplay, and then we were to stitch it all together with an enabling technology, and in this case, NFC technology? The result was a platform called Dropmix, yet to become available. So this really is, I'm thrilled to give you a little bit of a sneak peek on how this all came together. At its roots, it's the ultimate gameplay in music mixing. And it takes a collectible card, assigns a popular track and artist to that card, and through a variety of modes and gameplays on the device, I can perfectly synchronize the music, no matter what genre, what beats per minute. Should we take a look? All right. So here we have the platform. So we have 5 different zones. And I'm able to play a card on any one of them zones. All the magic and the first-of-a-kind technology is within the device. But what I love about it most is you don't need to be that superstar DJ to be able to play this platform. So you can engage with it on a solo level or in a mixed social level. So when I play the card, okay, that's pretty cool. Let's get a bit of Carly Rae Jepsen in there. Cool? All right, let's get a bit of Flow Rider. And we can continue to build. And it's that perfect synchronization where the magic happens. Pretty good, huh? But who would have said that the traditional strategy card game would become this platform and connect to a completely different user? It's pretty spectacular. So as I begin to think about these 2 examples either side of me and the stories that I shared today, some for the very first time, someone shared with me a quote, and I thought it was so relevant and so connecting to who I am. So I want us all to take a quick read as I put this up in front of you. The piece that I love most is the emphasis of what you are capable of becoming. My grandfather taught me and inspired me that I can build tools which can unearth inner soul and purpose. And as a result, the tools that I build can allow others to find their journeys, just like I did. Even more so, you need to lead with the highest degree of creativity in order for that to happen. And that's a collective responsibility. We can discover influences of the next generation, and I believe that we can unlock the unknown. And I find myself back exactly where I started this conversation today, that I truly believe that toys can unlock leaders of the future. And as a result, we can build a better world. Thank you very much.